Sure, looks good.
Man.
My name is Danny Dimian. I'm the visual effects supervisor.
And I'm Joshua Beveridge. I was head of character animation on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest.
When we started the film, we really didn't know what we wanted the film to look like. We did know what our inspiration was. We all loved comic books, and we went back and we looked at comic books to see what was special about them. We fell in love with the halftoning, the hatching, and the line work. We were really inspired by Jack Kirby's illustrations. He has the Kirby Crackle or Kirby dots that he uses a lot.
We'll see these dots as a motif through the entire movie.
And a lot of the techniques or visuals that came from how the comic books were printed, we wanted to stay away from anything that was soft or did not look like it belonged in the illustrated world. That included motion blur. That includes the camera focus.
So one of the great things about this movie, because it all feels like it's printed in ink, means that you could stop on absolutely every frame and it's all clear. You can understand where it's coming from and going to. It looks like an illustration on every frozen frame.
Panadol Extra tablets are boosted by caffeine for powerful pain relief. That's one for Panadol.
With Vinted's new categories, you can now sell even more pre-loved items. Don't use it, sell it.
Treat it like it's a character, and not just the whole city of New York, but the boroughs itself. We treated like different characters. Manhattan was this exaggeration of scale and light and bright.
Composed so that when you see it from the shot camera, it all looks really, it looks really cool. If you pull from the side and you view it through a witness camera, you can see that not only are the buildings very strange proportions, but the layout is really messed up. It's really weird, broken looking. But from the camera, it's an amazingly powerful shot. What you're seeing here is a test environment. Some people might look at the train, some people might look at Miles. You're seeing the color shift in and out registration, the way that the colors might be misprinted if they weren't lined up properly. So it definitely puts one area in focus, but at the same time, it still avoids that lens feel or the softness.
So this sequence is called Sitting Back There. It's really the first time we see Miles and his dad really interacting in the movie. That is a great example of offsetting the characters in the foreground so you can pay attention to the screen in focus. This one test shot, one of the key things we really discovered from it was how much we could deconstruct level of detail at a distance. If you look really closely, all of the traffic in this image behind that one passing lane is all just simple color blobs. Mm-hmm. And those simple color blobs represent a full city. And it was a great aha moment for the entire team that we weren't going to populate it with 1,000 cars and full of every single light in there.
We took that idea and we applied it to a lot in the movie, including every interior.
And it's a great example of handling level of detail in a way we hadn't traditionally. I didn't have to have the team animate hundreds and hundreds of cars and characters and populate every building with people and just get that reduced later. It was color blobs. And then we were looking for opportunities to make things simpler in animation all throughout the movie. Sometimes, like even we'd have characters holding flashlights, and if you didn't see them, we didn't animate them. That concept became the starting ground for another test. If you notice really closely on the bus that's crossing the scene, it's actually just a deconstructed painting. There's not 40 characters all sitting within that bus.
We're also introducing pop frames in it where it's just hand-drawn and it's really simple, and it could be basically taken out of a simple comic. We're starting to realize that we have an opportunity here to create a new visual language.
Amazing how much one little line for a furrow or a dimple can make you feel completely different about the expression. Form lines describe the shape of something. A thing like a nose, the effects team did this amazing thing where we had the character designer make a library of drawings. So that was something we could make rules for. This is the way that nose would look from this head angle to camera. And we made a whole bunch of poses that defined that. And the effects team would recreate those in 3D space with those rules of head angle to camera and then let the machine learning program try and guess where those drawings would go, and a person would correct it every time it was wrong, making it therefore another rule. And little by little, we're teaching the computer to make drawings that we find redundant. So like an example like where Miles is scrunching his face right there. Usually with a character like this, you'd have to be wrinkling the model in order to get this sort of crease. And it would never be as satisfying as a simple stroke. You can just have this stroke on top of it, and it's far more expressive, and we understand it. It's more clear.
All that technology was in the service of a
Early on, we realized that animating on twos was going to be a great solution for a couple of reasons. If you just watch it at speed, you're just immersed in the movie. You're not noticing all these things. They're really sneakily hidden in there. But if you pause and slow down the same footage, and you'll see only every other frame Miles is animated. That's what we're describing as on twos. You get that nice
Crazy how much detail is just in it. Small that you don't even
almost
notice.
every shot in the movie, the cameras are on ones. So we
That
have
makes
come
such a
up with
huge
all kinds of
difference.
technical solutions for how to make our performances with our characters on twos work with different styles of camera, always on ones. And see, he's going in and out of sync with the camera. If the camera is moving at high speed through this handheld ones through an entire forest, with Peter and Miles, they're both usually animated on twos, but we're going in and out of sync with them, just so you're getting that sort of feeling of they're not quite on the same page. The real goal of this section is to make he starts really out of sync with Peter. Peter being in his mastery, and this being his comfort zone isn't a big deal for him.
The whip and release.
So the beautiful thing about this sequence is we're literally seeing the two of them get on the same page. They start more out of sync and little by little get into sync with each other. And they're even on different frame rates until they both get it together. And because it's anime on twos, we get to clarify that sort of posing and thwipping. Peter doing the iconic low center of gravity, Spidey poses, and Miles, little by little, gets to get there by the end of it. And then you see them make eye contact and bond over that experience.
And then you can see Peter glitch here. He's not supposed to be in this Spider-Verse. And so all the superheroes that come to this Spider-Verse from theirs, they struggle with this dimensional glitching.
Hey guys,
Okay, who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy.
Come on. How many more spider people are there?
So we had to bring in each of them that was going to be a great role model for Miles, and then take him away.
And we replace him with Peter B. Parker or Burrito Peter.
This fog is your universe. It's soggy, it's weird, it's gross.
He's no longer in his prime. He maybe should be retired by now.
He's lost a few more fights.
He lost a lot more fights. He's a reluctant mentor.
You have money, right? I'm not very liquid right now.
I think you're gonna be a bad teacher.
And there's Gwen Stacy.
It's Gwen, actually.
Gwen Stacy is, of all of the spider people, the hero prime. She is the most capable and adept and in charge, but she's also probably had the most recent trauma. Parker was the only spider person that doesn't have superpowers of her own, and she has a mental, telekinetic relationship with the spider that runs her robot named.
This was a special project. There's not very many times where you really get to do something new.
It had to be bold, it had to be different, and that was the demand the audience put on us before we even started.
Really, everybody held hands from the very beginning to try to do something special and to try to push animation somewhere where it hadn't been before.
Y'all succeeded.
What more could I tell you? That it's in your face, it's facts. These artists don't own their music. Now listen to me. Like, I need people to understand this. If I'm an AC company, right? And your refrigerator's broke, right? I'm an AC company. I fix ACs. And your fucking refrigerator's broke. Are you gonna call me to fix it? Who you gonna call?
People who fix refrigerators.
People who fix refrigerators. If if I'm a electrician, right? And your fuse blow out, your lights, who you gonna call?
People who fix my lights.
Electrician, right?
Electrician.
So you gonna call me, right? Shut the fuck up. Like, you breaking our Santa Claus theory. We believe in Santa Claus.
No.
Hold on. We believe in Spider-Man. We believe in the Hulk. What more could I tell you? That it's in your face. It's facts. These artists don't own their music. Now listen to me. Like, Aiden, I fuck with you, but I'm gonna show you why people so scared to interview me. Hold on. Wait, watch this. I'm gonna show you why people, and tell me if I'm manipulating. Just let me do explanation. You Jewish, right?
I am Jewish.
Listen, I'm just showing the world is contradiction. People don't see how they contradiction because I'm looking at it, I'm just too smart, right? Just hear me out. You didn't interview me because I had a problem with Steve Will Do It. Steve Will Do It is your friend, right?
That's right.
Right, correct. You're Jewish.
I am Jewish.
Your family's Jewish.
I am.
But you sat here and said you would do something with Adolf Hitler, and you're Jewish. He killed many of your people. So
yes, to question him for how fucked up and crazy he was.
So why didn't you interview me and say how fucking crazy for me violating your friend Steve?
That is true. He got you.
That's what I do. This is what I do. Aiden,
He started crying. Yo, he told you stop dick riding, bro. That's crazy.
Tail sticks, I'm sorry, tail sticks. Beautiful.
That was better.
And jump. No wires, part, Kelly. We got this. Yeah, the parts will go by.
Give me the box.
All right, Spider-Man. It's nice knowing you. Here we go. Look, Parker, the danger isn't Mysterio. It's you trying to live two lives at once, and the longer you go on doing that, the more danger.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
dangerous it becomes.
Wait, can't some people still know?
That's not quite how the spell works, and it's very difficult and dangerous to try and change it mid-casting.
It's kind of works.
Well, it's hand, and then as he turns around,
Who are you? Where am I?
I'm just gonna move his head so I see your face. The whole way.
Okay.
It's great.
Hello, Peter. Let me see that one.
It's simple. To get ahead of the 99% of actors that never make it, you just need to be able to play the roles that 99% of actors can't play. And I'm not talking about your actual acting ability, because of course that's also important, but in the deep end of the pool, every actor's phenomenal. Do you think that you're the only one going to classes and practicing regularly? No! Acting isn't just your average linear career path, as most of it is outside your control. No matter how good you are, at some point you cannot progress until other people give you the opportunity to shine. I needed Stranger Things to put me on the map. Robert Downey Jr. needed The Avengers. Jennifer Lawrence needed The Hunger Games. Samuel Jackson needed Pulp Fiction. Jenna Ortega needed Wednesday. Denai Guerrera needed The Walking Dead. Now, I obviously am not even in the same solar system of success as all of those names, but we all share something in common that allowed us to break into the industry. And it wasn't talent, but don't worry, we're still going to cover some things that are in your control because it's not exclusively luck. To be more successful than 99% of actors requires 3 fundamental things. 1, a character type that no one can play better than you. 2, a big project that contains that character type. And then 3, your acting ability needs to be strong enough to still be cast in the role. So let's start with the first thing, because most actors are not even thinking about this, despite it being foundational to every single acting career. Robert Downey Jr. is not the best actor in the world, but he is the best actor to play Tony Stark. Others could, sure, but nobody could play it in the way that he did. He made it his own. But none of that would have even mattered if the role of Iron Man in the MCU hadn't come along in a way that allowed him to shine. Obviously, there are years of hard work and dedication behind that one role of Tony Stark, and Robert Downey Jr. at that...
Hold on, BRB chat.
Nice.
That point was relatively established, even if his career was kind of on the downturn. Ultimately, many working actors do build careers without ever skyrocketing to the acclaim that he has. And this is where luck starts to really be what sets working actors apart from the top 0.0001% of the mega stars. But we're not talking about the mega stars. We're talking about the 1% of actors that consistently work and that you are hoping to be like. The problem most actors have is they exclusively focus on the hard work part. Where did they learn their craft? How many years did they spend auditioning before their breakout role? What was their process? 99% of actors exclusively care about execution. And it's both incredibly important, but also not the thing that necessarily determines your success. Denai Guerrera.
Hello, my name is Giulio Cocchini. I work for Chesby. We are here in Bisat camp in Zawaida. Here Chesby with the support of...
Wasn't mega successful because of all of the years she spent becoming classically trained at acting. She was mega successful because nobody else perfectly embodied, physically and emotionally, the character of Michonne from The Walking Dead that Robert Kirkman created. Samuel L. Jackson tragically struggled with alcohol and substance abuse for years before he became the household name. Is that his secret? Obviously not. But interestingly, in 1991, weeks after Samuel got out of rehab, he was cast as Gator, a crack addict in Jungle Fever, which was his first major role that would start snowballing his career. Now we might be starting to get somewhere. Execution is overrated. If you can find the one role that can 100x your notoriety, then everything else just doesn't really matter. Now, this process of finding the roles that only you can play is what we call in the industry your typecast. It's how audiences see you visually. It's the life experience that you bring into the role. It's where your natural acting instincts are. And it's the role that no one can do better than you. And then it's the willingness to spend years or even decades training and getting in front of the decision makers with bold performances that are going to fail more than they succeed. But also, lay the groundwork for your future success once the timing is right and the perfect project finally appears. But people don't like hearing this because as actors we crave that chameleon status. We avoid typecasting like the plague instead of leaning into it as your unique edge that sets you apart. Here's the truth. Doing the exact same character prep as Christopher Walken might make you a good actor, but it won't make you a successful actor. Which, by the way, he doesn't even learn anything from the script besides his lines and spent his early life as a lion tamer. Seriously, look it up. Another example of an actor whose success seemingly stems from his incredibly unique perspective as a result of living an incredibly unique life. Execution is necessary, but also a prerequisite, not the key to success. It's like waiting in a station for a train of opportunity that may or may not ever come along at any point during your life. But are you going to be at the train station with your bags packed, ticket in hand, ready to jump on it the moment it arrives? Or will you be the actor who's completely unprepared for that train of opportunity, not even at the station, completely unaware that this opportunity train has been passing by you under your nose? If you don't know the roles that you thrive in, and you don't know your acting strengths, then not only will you never be fully prepared, you're also being lazy and leaving it up to your agent or casting directors to figure all of that out for you. And in such a uncontrollable industry, you need to take as much of that power back as you can. Now, after years of being in the industry, I've been able to refine my typecast into the dark, tortured antagonist with the boy next door route. And you'll see that through line through every single character I've played. I got headshots and a demo reel that matched my character type. I doubled down on training for those types of roles, and that is how casting directors thought of me as number 2. My train of opportunity was the part of number 2. I was ready for it, and if I hadn't been crystal clear on my strengths and doubling down on them, it might have slipped right through my fingers. To be clear, by the way, your typecast is not now the only character you will ever play. It's just the character that will bring you into the conversation. The character that shows the best side of your craft off when you have zero resume to lay your hat on. You can first look at your track record. Is there any through line between the characters you've played in theater, student, or short films? But if you're starting from ground zero, here's the general process. First, Find out people's first impressions of you. What do they assume about you based off your looks? Because yes, your looks do absolutely matter, but not in the completely superficial sense. If you watch a film, you will see all types of bodies and genders and aesthetics, and it's important to know what your aesthetic aligns with before trying to go off and market yourself that way, just so there's no incongruity. You can technically ask friends and family, but it's best to get the impression of acquaintances or strangers specifically, because this will provide the most objective results possible. Then, you experiment with all the roles that people felt you looked like you could play, and then figure out which one comes the easiest to you. Which of these first impressions is the most effortless for you to resonate and connect with? It is only then, once you have specificity on the roles that you both visually and instinctively play better than anyone else, that you're now ready to get your materials in order. Take new headshots that capture this character type and then make a demo reel that complements them. And by the way, try to stay away from just having generic job titles. So not doctor, but like sociopathic intellectual or kind caregiver, something that just doesn't put you in this very specific bubble. If you would like my help with this process, right now I am giving away free acting review videos to people who join my free group, The Actors Locker Room. You'll be able to upload a recent video of your acting, whether it's an audition or a demo reel, and then I'll...
Ouch, I'm not gonna lie. It's not really much people in the stream today, so I think we'll end it here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. My